Is this on? Oh, hello! Welcome to Duval's Corner, the manifestation of all my anxieties, depressions, hopes, and dreams in one relatively unwatchable YouTube clip. I hope your quarantine is going well. I know there's a lot of these shows coming out right now, and getting the PS4 invite. Greg Burkett, I'll be with you in a minute. Should I say people's first full names? You're not going to Google that. I hope everyone's quarantine is going well. I don't know how many days this is. And a lot of these quarantine videos, everybody's, whether you're a famous comedian or an aspiring nobody like myself, they'll all be very much the same, talking about how difficult it is to be alone. But let me tell you, I've been alone for 33 years. Because my dad was in prison the second I was born. And my mother, well, I love her, but I don't really like her. She makes a mean dish, but she's also driven me to alcoholism. So what you're not going to hear from me is how much I dislike isolation. I love isolation. What I don't like is my hypochondrianism. Hypochondria that's developed. Hey, cheers, guys. Oh boy, that's developed over the years. I suffer from acute anxiety. I don't know if many people know that about me. Every day is a living hell, punctuated by brief moments of levity and joy that I can attribute to the occasional beautiful woman that I either have sex with or talk to who's intelligent enough to keep up with my level of repartee. Cheers. But otherwise, I question existence and my role in it. It's just so funny because I feel like when I was 27, that's like a different person. You know, I wasn't any happier then, but there were no symptoms of my unhappiness other than chronically sabotaging my professional career as an actor. What am I wearing? Oh, okay. So the reason I say all this is that solitude and isolation is my ally. I didn't know. I forget. It's from Dark Knight Rises. But anyway, life isn't forever, guys. And I have really, really gotten that message while this global health pandemic surrounds us. I've never been more dialed into what's important, what I want to do, what my goals are, who matters. Everything is so crystal fucking clear now. I just hope I survive it. I probably will. I don't have any underlying health issues other than anxiety. Yeah, I don't smoke. I smoke a little bit of the ganja. I want to call my doctor, but I know he has like real people he's dealing with. Anyway, guys, point being, I do know what I'm going to do right now, and I'm actually very excited to share it with you. Shall we? Hold on. So a part of my isolation, my mom would deposit me at my grandmother's house when I was a young boy, and she would go off and do whatever the fuck it was that she was doing. So I would spend summers alone in upstate New York on a 5-acre hunting cabin with my grandmother, who I miss dearly. Grandma Gladys was a gem of a woman, and I mean that with all my heart. She was a black hunter woman, garden, broke all these bullshit stereotypes of what you probably think a black grandmother was. God, I miss Grandma Gladys. But anyway, I had my own little like quarantine as a young boy, and a part of that was video games. And I have here from the year 1995, from September 1995, I have an issue of a magazine I know you've never heard of and doesn't exist anymore. Next Generation Magazine. PlayStation's driving force. Now, I love these old video game magazines because they captured a wonder and an awe of how exciting and revolutionary so many of these video games were at the time. Because we kind of take for granted the whole Call of Duty, there's a new Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, like all these new games were like, of course they'll look great. But there's a time where like a polygon was a new thing. So let's crack it. Let's see what September 1995 looked like. Shall we? You want to look over Daddy's shoulder? Sony versus Sega. The war continues. As all you, and maybe this will work, I'll read it to you. Again, this is a format we're figuring out. It'll be fine. As all U.S. eyes remain fixed on the September 9th launch of PlayStation, the battle between Sega and Sony continues apace around the globe. The war that started in Japan prior to the holiday season in 1994. Okay, you guys aren't going to sit here and listen to me read all this then. But imagine a world where the PlayStation was just coming to existence. No one knew what it was. More, I'm looking at the ads. Look at that. Look at that fucking polygon. I love it. Let me just show you one more ad. See, this is these are how dates go with me. I charm some girl and I tell her about like this completely outmoded shit that she has no interest in hearing about. And she like humors me. She's like, "That's very interesting, Deval. Oh, are you gonna?" Oh god, there's a Mortal Kombat 3 ad. Jaguar, remember this game system? In a world where feline reflexes are... Yeah. I don't know. There's one more. There's usually like a kid doing something ridiculous. Like, yeah, here we go. The fate of nations lies frozen in ice. Prisoner of ice. Like, how simple concepts were back then. My point is, guys, it was a simpler time. One I yearn for deeply. And although we can't go back in time, maybe we can make our futures better. And that's what we can learn from this quarantine, this dark period, this uncertainty that we are mired in right now. It ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be clean. And yes, people will die. Maybe I'll die. Maybe you'll die. But even if we did, you can do something right now that matters. Like drink heavily. Alone. In upstate fucking New York, on your family's property, that, hey, is well insulated from the scourge of New York, people from New York City who are going to try to come up here like the opening montage of Mad Max. It's going to get bad. It's going to get so fucking bad. But again, it's not the disease itself, it's the hospital beds. I don't want to talk about this shit. I don't care. I have a world to run. I have jokes to tell. I have women to meet. Exes to exact revenge upon through my own success. And I'm sure you do too. I feel like there's something else positive I can end on here. Because we don't need to... My laptop crashed, so I had to boot it from an old laptop from 2016. And that was my, I was in LA, top of my game. And it's kind of depressing to see how successful I was at the time. And then I just decided that, dating a model and making thousands of dollars a day is not enough. I need to go home to New York, to upstate New York, to find myself. And here I am 4 years later. Cheers! But hey, here's the silver lining. Had I stayed in LA, I'd be fucking trapped in that hellhole in the middle of a global health pandemic. And let's be real, LA, it ain't gonna last there. No. There's a file here that says suicide is great. Oh boy, Deval. Look, I'm not a happy person. That's kind of the thing. I'm kind of sick of pretending that I am. I think that's part of we all shoulder this weight of the world on us, and it comes from these lies that we think we need to... This isn't the alcohol. This is not the alcohol. This is the depression. Hold on. I have these notes in my laptop. Suicide is great. Painkiller. Suicide is a great painkiller. That's actually very funny, Deval. January 3rd, 2017. Hey, salute. Don't sit there, that's where the birds shit. I'm going through a list of old things that I've written. Had a nightmare. My ex-girlfriend was a high-end escort for third world despots, which then briefly transformed into a scene from Rambo 4, followed by a montage of OSHA catastrophes, which is the Office of Safety and Health Administration for work, like those horrible videos of people dying on the job. So my subconscious is pretty healthy. Oh, God, I've been dealing with this for a while, huh? New York City comedy clubs be like, we got your money, get the fuck out. My goal isn't to prove that I'm right. It's to say that maybe you're not. All right. I have no idea what just happened for the past 10 minutes, guys, but it's a good start. I feel good about it. Do you? Let's keep doing this. Let's keep having this chat. Because here, I'll end on this. I don't really talk to my mom. I'm living in her house and family house, riding out the apocalypse. There's 5 acres. It's good to be here. It's a good place to be. And for whatever reasons, reasons I'll get into in the future, we don't really, connect how we used to, for various reasons. But we sat down, had like a Blue Apron meal that I ordered. She prepared a Blue Apron meal. And we sat down and we watched Mad Money with Jim Cramer. Is that the show? We watched CNBC. We watched the Finance Network in silence, eating. That's the kind of relationship that we have. So that's where I'm at, guys. Oh, here's a set from 2016. I'm not going to do the jokes. I'm going to read the bullet points of the set from comedy shows. I'm the nicest, most disagreeable guy you'll ever meet. Social justice warriors. BuzzFeed made me a Republican. The liberal bubble. Man-spreading. No one gave a fuck until white girls from Wisconsin got to Harlem about that. Stop taking the bait for the yoga, the 5... All right, anyway. Shitty jokes from an earlier time. Okay. Really, this is enough. I'm rambling, I know. I really appreciate it if you've watched this far. And if you liked it, let's maybe go on another date. Let's go on another date. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.